start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I please ask for a roll call?
Supervisor Riley.
Present.
Clerk Hansaldi.
Present.
Treasurer Eppican.
Present.
Trustee Thompson.
Present.
Trustee Jaffer.
Present.
Trustee Prayback.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 members present.
Thank you. It's lovely to have everybody here for our final meeting of the year. Okay, before I ask for an approval of the agenda, I need to add an item. So adding 9.21, a resolution authorizing compensation and benefit modifications for the non-union employees for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2029. May I get a motion for the amended agenda?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda as amended. Support.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right, the agenda is modified as presented. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for public comment. Any person may come forward at this time to address the board. Anyone who wishes to speak is requested but not required to state his or her name and address for the record. Anyone? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to the approval of the minutes. May I have a motion for 4.1?
Madam Chair, I motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on November 12th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes are approved. May I ask for a motion for 4.2?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes of the special meeting held on November 20, 2025.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I want to go back to the public comment for 1 minute. There was a public comment that was submitted through online, and maybe everybody should receive that prior to the meeting tonight. And it was just somebody who was in favor of the moratorium for the data center. So I want to make sure that we do that, and that public comment will be in the minutes. All right, moving over to consent agenda. May I have a motion for our consent agenda, please?
Madam Chair, I move to consent agenda 7.1 to 7.11.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, consent agenda is approved. Moving on to 9.1.
Madam Chair, I move to receive and file the 2025 Historic District Commission Annual Report.
Second.
Okay, discussion on this? I do want to mention that the 3 electeds, along with Commissioner Sanders, went to tour the African American Cultural and Historical Museum last week, and it was very nice to be able to actually go inside and have a tour and have lunch and talk about that with the new director that they had. We also have been working with the Historical Society to move the archives, organize them, and get them over to the Bentley U of M Archive Center, which is also exciting. So I want to make sure that we highlight some of those things that were also in the report.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so if it is all good to file and receive, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we will receive and file those. May I have a motion for 9.2, please?
Madam Chair, I move to adopt a resolution to amend the fiscal year 2025 General Fund, Building Fund, and Water Sewer Fund budgets, Resolution 25-35.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this? We do have our Director of Finance here, if anyone has any questions. I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay. May I ask for a roll call?
Supervisor Riley.
Yes.
Clerk Hansaldi.
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican.
Yes.
Trustee Thompson.
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer.
Yes.
Trustee Prayback.
Yes.
Trustee Mills.
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
Thank you. That is approved, and we'll move on to a motion for 9.3, please.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the amended Pittsfield Charter Township Board of Trustee meeting schedule for 2026.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Please note that the January and last October meeting on the schedule is going to be over at the 701 building.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Do you want to say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just want to note that both of the January meetings will be
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
at the Senior Center.
Yes.
So make sure to check the schedule
Yep.
before you
Both January
actually
and last
drive.
October, is that
Before
correct?
Yeah, in October.
Yep, thank you. All right, and one is due to the election and one is due to the work going on in here? Yes. Or for the October, one is the election, and then January is because of the work that's being done in the building.
Yes.
All right. May I have a motion for 9.4, please?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to enter into a 5-year lease extension with Broadview Farms for Pittsfield Charter Township farmland.
Support.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would just like to note that we do have Nathan McCullough here. He is, it's a family-owned business, and they have been farming with Pittsfield Township for many, many years, way before I even got here. So, and they've always really did a good job, and we appreciate the partnership. And I just have to say that I like knowing that some of our properties are being farmed, and it's a wonderful
I
thing.
do as well. Thank you for that partnership.
Yeah, we're happy to do it.
I was going to say, it's
Happy
perfect.
to have that relationship with the township. My brother and I have continued on, from my dad here. He still helps us when he feels like it. But no,
That
we've
sounds
got a
good.
great relationship with the township, and we hope we keep the property up to your standards.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you so much. We really do. It's great.
Thank you.
All right, well, I think this should be an easy one, but all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes as well. Thank you. All right, may I have a motion for 9.5?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to enter into a purchase of service agreement with Ann Arbor Area Transportation Authority from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, at a cost not to exceed $683,525, subject to township attorney approval.
Okay, discussion on this one?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yes, please.
Supervisor. So I took a couple minutes just to write a couple of thoughts that I had around this because, for those that didn't know, a small constellation of us have been meeting with AAATA to help understand their ask. And before I go into that comment, I just want to say, for the record, I very much value public transportation within I'm trying.
Closer.
I very much value public transportation. And so my comments are not in spite of that, but because of our role here, I feel we also have fiduciary responsibility for all of our citizens and constituents here. So balancing those two things, when there's an initial ask, when they put forward to us back in August, it was a 12% year-over-year ask. And this was the third year in a row where they had a double-digit increase for us and our residents. So with that, we asked for some clarification. We asked for some clarity about what was behind that ask. We've had some very productive conversations. And in the course of those conversations, they found a formulaic error in how they were coming to the number of their initial ask, and they reduced it from a 12% year-over-year ask down to a 6% year-over-year ask. Now, with that said, that 6% year-over-year ask is still higher than what they have in their own adopted budget. In their own adopted budget that their board approved, they said it was a 4.1% increase for all the POSA agreements, and that's what we are. We are a POSA agreement. It's a purchase of service agreement. And that purchase of service agreement, they represented to their board adopted that. It was going to be a 4.1% year-over-year increase. So they're still asking Pittsfield to pay 6%, which is 50% more than what they and represented to their board, and their board voted on and approved. So we've had some good conversations about that. They've been productive. And given the benefit of more time, I think that we'd get there through either further negotiation to get down to that 4.1%, or we'd have greater clarity about what is making up that gap. But because we don't have that clarity, and based on my aforementioned kind of fiduciary responsibility, I'm personally going to be voting no on this. And that, again, is not a slight to the value of public transit for our community and for our residents, but it's because we are at a critical time within our kind of journey here as a township where we have a fund balance that is at a 30-year low. We have some critical steps that we have to do. We have labor contracts. We have a lot of things. And when there is an ask that's bigger than the increase of revenue that we have, that necessarily means that we're taking away from either making our fund balance stronger or other services here. And for those reasons, I'm going to be voting no again. But I also want to overtly say that I value not only public transportation, but the partnership that AAATA has shown over the last couple of months in engaging with us in this conversation. And I'm hopeful that in 2026, that we can continue that partnership and sit at the same side of the table, look at the same data, and best figure out what is not only good services for our clients, but doing it in a very financially responsible way. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak about that as well? Yes.
I would just like to mention that, I understand what Trustee Brayback is saying, and I do agree that the math is not mathing. But we are at a critical juncture, and we do have to get the contract signed. And I can tell you that Supervisor Riley has worked so very hard on this. She's been laser focused at trying to get these costs down. We have had, and of course with the deputy supervisor also, and she has had a lot of success in bringing the cost down and trying to move services out of AATA to allow us to provide all the services that we need to provide within this township. So while I understand and I do still think that the costs are too high, I am today voting yes, but I feel like the supervisor will continue, of course, to work diligently on trying to get the cost corrected for the following year. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any more discussion on that? I would like to add, and as Trustee Brayback said, we started these conversations back in the spring, asking for numbers and asking for information, and we have been trying and, made a big step, making sure that we did bring the cost down. We actually have a 2-year contract now with People's Express to sort of offset some of that, getting better service and more widespread service. It's difficult to make the decision because we don't have the numbers, we don't have the information, and that is going to be our 2026 sort of laser focused to try to figure out what makes sense. And because transit is, I believe, speaking for everybody here, important here in Pittsfield Township, so we're not giving up the ghost at all. We're really getting in there. But I am going to vote yes. We are getting to the point where our POSA will expire at the end of this year, and there are people that depend on this service. And at this point, it's too much to take that away. But I am dedicating and saying out loud that we will be working as a team, as we did this year, to figure out how to move forward with transportation in the best way, financially responsible, but then also making sure that we're providing the service that we need to provide in the future of where transit needs to go in Pittsfield Township. So, all right. Yes, please.
I just want to add, I'll be concise because all these points resonate. Yes, we did dig deep and went through a very detailed process, but at the end of the day, like to take a page from Michelle, the math is not mathing. And I'm going to be voting no. As important as this is, I know this is important and we need it, but I think over the course of the next few months, before we have to sign the next contract, we are going to really have to dig down into the numbers and demand the data we need to justify any numbers that they're presenting to us in the future.
All right.
I do have one more comment.
Yes, please, go ahead.
And this is, I'm remiss for not saying this, and I apologize for this, but the work that you put in, Supervisor, I just want to acknowledge that, and the team. Our deputy supervisor,
Yes, it was a
Jessica,
team.
and the team did a tremendous amount of work here, and I just want to publicly say thank you for that work that we've all been putting in.
Thank you all. Yes, the team has made a big difference. We were able to really come at this from different angles and really look at it. So, and find solutions. And I think, and I honestly, we did bring the cost down 6% through this endeavor. We have also found a new partner that is, I believe, from our first discussions, is going to be a great partner and expand transit. So I don't think it's a lost cause, but I think there's still work to do. But I said, I think at this point, I don't want to not provide services, so, for this year. All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. And I appreciate the conversation and the discussion. And just want to say, I just appreciate the whole year and having this team that we can agree and disagree and do so in the best conscience of the township. So, thank you. All right, I will go ahead and ask for a motion for, what number are we on? Are we on 9.6? All right.
Madam Chair, I move to adopt a resolution authorizing a contribution of the adult use marijuana distribution from the state of Michigan, Resolution 25-34.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this one? May I ask for a roll call, please?
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Urta Thompson?
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Trustee Braybeck?
Yes.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
All right, resolution is adopted. May I please ask for a motion for 9.7?
Madam Chair.
Matt. No, I'm going to take it.
I
this
love the
time.
eagerness.
Madam,
Go ahead, half an hour.
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to enter into an agreement with Washtenaw My Brother's Keeper as a recipient of the adult use marijuana distributions from the state of Michigan, subject to township attorney approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this one? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's authorized. May I please ask for a motion for 9.8?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to enter into an agreement with Fromm and Widmer Incorporated for appraisal services for a cost not to exceed $11,000, not including any post-appraisal work, subject to the township attorney approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this one? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that is approved. May I please have a motion for 9.9?
Madam Chair, I move to adopt resolution to establish 2025 poverty exemption guidelines, resolution number 25-31.
Second.
Okay, we do have our assessor here tonight, if anyone has any questions or would like any more detail on it. I think it's self-explanatory as well, but we do have, yes.
They should say 26.
2631?
It's for next year.
Oh, the resolution?
Oh, I see, 2026 property exclusion.
No, the resolution number is correct,
But
but
the
establish.
date.
Oh, I
Yes, you
see what you're
the year.
saying. It should be established for 2026. I see what you're saying.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a friendly amendment
Yes.
just to correct the 2025 to 2026.
Second.
Thank you, Warsha. All right.
Thank you for that.
May I please have a roll call?
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Urta Thompson?
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Trustee Braybeck?
Yes.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
All right, resolution is adopted as amended. Thank you. May I please ask for a motion for 9.10?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the police department's sponsor of applicants by certified Michigan police academies through 2030 at a cost not to exceed $37,227 per applicant, subject to the township attorney approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this one? We do have our Director of Public Safety, Patrick Gray, here for probably the next 4 items, I believe, as well. We kind of like to pile them on for you here, but
Director Gray, how many applicants do we have in the queue right now?
So, thank you. Currently, we have one that is going in January. We have one currently in an academy that is scheduled, I believe, to complete in February. That one was on a previous approval. So this January applicant will be part of this approval. And then we are still planning to post in January for additional hires and would have 3 positions to fill still for the department.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can stay put too.
I was going to say, you want to stay put? Just 'cause I know, I'm so sorry, but this is,
All
makes
right.
it easy and nice to
So
have.
we're expecting 4 positions for this next year.
Correct, and we do have one retirement. So there's 4. There is a total of 4 in 26 would be our goal, and so far, so good.
Good luck.
We're moving along. So.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, authorized. May I please ask for a motion for 9.11?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the purchase of furniture from Michigan Office Interiors for the Public Safety Facilities Improvement Project for a cost not to exceed $77,919.33.
Second.
Okay, discussion on this is obviously the building next door, and even though we have a blanket approval for a bunch of things, we're bringing things here to kind of, as we go along, and just kind of do the extra transparency on it.
Correct.
Any questions for Director Gray?
Approved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that purchase is approved. May I please have a motion for 9.12?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the purchase of new appliances from Lowe's for the Public Safety Improvement Project at a cost not to exceed $19,673.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's all approved as well. May I please have a motion for 9.13?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the purchase of a Circle Air Turnout Gear Dryer from W.S. Darley and Company and a Unimac 45-pound turnout gear washer extractor from Universal Laundry Machinery at a cost not to exceed $29,255.
Support.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes. Director Gray.
Yes.
Is this a special, are these special?
These are-
Special?
Yes, this isn't like a Maytag. This
Okay.
is, this is
Those are really expensive.
very, yes, it's industrial strength. It's designed to clean the PPE that the firefighters wear. So there's a lot of carcinogens and other toxins that end up on that gear, including some bio stuff, depending on the kind of call that they went on. And so it requires special equipment to clean it so that they can continue to wear it. It's very expensive gear, so
Yeah, and is it a much larger kind of unit?
Yes, much.
Because I imagine the fire gear is much heavier and denser.
yes. And so
correct?
that's why we can't use a typical cleaner. And
Yeah.
one of those wouldn't really be appropriate for this equipment anyway, but you're right. It has to be able to withstand a lot more weight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you're good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, may I please have a motion for 9.14?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the purchase of a John Deere Gator 4x2 from Napoleon Lawn and Leisure through My Deal at a cost not to exceed $9,678.48, and I believe that there is a,
Yeah.
there should be a period there, not a comma.
All right, any discussion? We do have the, sorry.
Second.
Any discussion? We do have our interim Parks and Rec Director here, Director Wade. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, purchase is approved. May I please have a motion for 9.15?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to approve a 2026 invasive species control and management service contract with Stantec Consulting Michigan Incorporated for a cost not to exceed $50,000, subject to Township attorney approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this? I know that Interim Director Wade and the Park Commission are definitely on top of our invasive species plan to keep things in our park from getting too out of control. So this is an important endeavor, and I believe it's been vetted out through the Park Commission.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
We're doing this every year, right? And so is it $50,000 every single
I'm going to have
year?
Interim Director Wade come up and talk about the long-term range plan of this.
Yeah, so right now, we are working on plans to kind of do like a 50,000 and just move that each year. We're prioritizing certain parts of the parks that are heavily, with the invasives, and we're starting to see progress, so we're starting to move into other areas of the parks. With this contract as well, we're also adding Woolly Park, which was not part of the last 4 years or 5 years. So it's really just kind of working on specific areas and then moving to new areas, as we clean up one area. So we're kind of, what our millage is able to hold and where our budget stands, we're trying to prioritize and be smart and use that money, in the areas that we can use them.
Okay, thank you very
Yep.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes as well. May I please have a motion for 9.16?
Madam Chair, I move to authorize the supervisor and clerk to enter into agreement with Recycle Ann Arbor for drop-off recycling service for 2026 at a cost not to exceed $43,260, subject to Township attorney approval.
Second.
All right, in discussion, we do have our Manager of Community Development, Landis Smith here. If anybody has any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes as well. May I please have a motion for 9.17?
Madam Chair, I move to deny first reading of ZOA 25-234 to amend 5801 South State Street from C2 General Commercial Conditionally Zoned to R2 Low Density Multiple Family Residential Conditional Rezoning Request located in Section 21, Pittsfield Charter Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
Second.
Okay, in discussion, we do have our planner, Ben Carlisle, here. If we have any questions on this one, this was, came back from the Planning Commission to deny since it didn't quite fit with our master plan and densities.
I would just like to state that I had an opportunity to drive past it and kind of look at it and think about their request to me didn't really make sense. It does not fit in with the master plan. It does not fit in with the land use. It's kind of plopped like in a weird place in front of commercial areas. So, yes, I am in favor of denying it. Thank you.
And I appreciate our planner and the Planning Commission being vigilant about following our master plan and making sure that we get quality products that fit our mission here in the township, so. All right, may I ask for a roll call for this one? Okay.
Trustee Erda Thompson?
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Trustee Braybeck?
Yes.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. That is denied, and we'll move on to asking for a motion for 9.18.
Madam Chair, I move to approve first reading of ordinance 342 to amend the Township Property Maintenance Code by revising Chapter 6, Article 4, Section 6-21.
Second.
Okay, we do have our Township Attorney, Mariah Fink, here, if any questions. All right, if not, roll call.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Trustee Braybeck?
Yes.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Erda Thompson?
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. Moving on to ask for a motion for 9.19.
Madam Chair, I move to approve first reading ZOA number 25-235 to amend section 40-4.20 and add section 40-11.50 short-term rentals of the zoning ordinance to regulate short-term rentals.
Second.
All right, discussion on this one. This one has been long in the process with plenty of public hearings, and the Planning Commission has vetted this out. I don't know if there's anything you want to say or any comments we have.
I would just like to say, both this ordinance and the previous one are both dealing with short-term rentals. And the reason for that, there is a memo from Attorney Fink relating to this, that we need, one ordinance goes on the general code side, which is the enforcement side, and one is for the zoning piece of it. And I think the Planning Commission did a really good job in vetting all of this out, so I wholeheartedly agree with what they've done.
Yes, our Planning Commission, our planner, our Township Attorney, the staff, this is, a lot of work is being put into this, and the residents, quite honestly, and the feedback that we've gotten has been very important in this, and I think we did it right, so. All right, if I can ask for a roll call for this as well?
Trustee Braybeck?
Yes.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Erda Thompson?
Yes.
Trustee Jaffer?
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, you have 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. May I please ask for a motion for 9.20?
Madam Chair, I move to move into closed session as authorized by Michigan Open Meetings Act for the following reason: pursuant to MCL 15.2681C, to consult with the Township Attorney for consideration and review of tentative agreements reached in collective bargaining negotiations with two unionized employee groups, the Technical Professional and Office Workers Association of Michigan, TPOM, and the Police Officer Labor Council, Pittsfield Township Lieutenants and Sergeants Association, the POLC-C.
Second.
All right, any discussion? We'll ask for a roll call.
Trustee Mills?
Yes.
Supervisor Riley?
Yes.
Clerk Anzaldi?
Yes.
Treasurer Eppican?
Yes.
Trustee Erda Thompson?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Brayback?
Yes.
All right, we'll move into closed session, and then we'll reconvene after. Thank you.